Sports presents coverage of the Section 6-4A Boys Basketball Tournament. Tonight, a semifinal matchup between the number 3 seed, the St. Louis Park Orioles, and the number 2 seed, the Wayzata Trojans. From Osseo High School, John Jacobson and Ryan Iverson, along with Ali Arnold for tonight's game. These teams have played once 2 months ago. Wayzata winning in double overtime against St. Louis Park. Ryan, they expect another good contest tonight.
Well, it's always kind of fun when you get a chance to play an opponent you know you're a little bit familiar with. 83-80, double overtime, high-scoring game, very competitive, and both of those teams, they get a chance to redeem themselves, St. Louis Park. And if you're Wayzata, you're coming in. They've played in this gym before. They got confidence. They're younger than St. Louis Park, but I just think it's going to be a dogfight. We got really good guard play on both sides of the ball tonight.
The Orioles, definitely a lot of seniors that have been through this, played together for a few years, played a really good non-conference schedule, and Dave Brighton-Bucher feels that that's made them playoff ready and able to take on Wayzata tonight.
Well, and absolutely, and if I'm a coach, I'd rather lose some more games during the regular season against really good competition than play less competition and win games, right? So St. Louis Park's played Wayzata, they played Hopkins, they're very battle-tested, and because they have a lot of seniors too, they're ready for this moment, this stage. There doesn't get anything bigger. A Friday night against a big school like Wayzata at a neutral site, the crowd's crazy, CCX is here. What more could you want if you're a high school basketball player?
Ryan mentioned guard play. Let's look at two of the guards for this game, starting with St. Louis Park. They've got Kyrie Mayfield and Joey Whitlock, who's really had a nice season for them. Really good shooter.
Well, both of them are phenomenal offensive players, but Whitlock, he shoots over 40% from three, and so I think to beat Wayzata, because Wayzata shoots a lot of threes, and they're high scoring. St. Louis Park also high scoring, and Whitlock, I think, has got to be 3, 4, 5 three-pointers tonight. And if he can shoot efficiently and shoot over 40%, close to 50%, St. Louis Park again is going to be right there with Wayzata.
For the Trojans, Jacob Benega, junior guard, he can really do a lot of things well.
Well, there's been so many Benegas. You could just say any first name, and there probably has been that Benega. But I love Jacob. He plays with such energy, such effort, such high basketball IQ. He's really turned into a good shooter, too. But what he is a great leader of this team. We saw him against Hopkins a couple weeks ago. He got in some foul trouble. They weren't the same when he's not on the floor. He just commands and controls the basketball game. And so I'm excited for him. He's going to be challenged tonight, playing against a couple of seniors and some very talented guards at St. Louis Park.
Should be a good one. The winner moves on to play Hopkins for the section championship here on Wednesday night. We'll take a break, come back, tip this one off. St. Louis Park, Osseo, section boys basketball next on CCX.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody.
Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
We're back at Osseo High School getting set for tonight's second semifinal in the 6-4A tournament. St. Louis Park and Wayzata. Let's go to our sideline reporter tonight, and Ali Arnold.
Guys, these two teams met in this exact game last year where Wayzata steamrolled over the Orioles by 27 points, but tonight should be so much more fun. With Wayzata winning by just 3 2 months ago in double overtime, both teams know that this game has the potential to be a tight one. Coach Snetler says for tonight, they have to contain number 11, Kyrie Mayfield. He says he loves to drive right, so watch for Wayzata to really force his left tonight. He says they have to keep him out of the paint. That's exactly where he gets most of his points. For the Orioles, Brighton-Bucher says they have to shut down Wayzata's three-point game. That's what killed him in the last matchup. So they both have a game plan. Tonight should be a good one, though, guys.
Thanks, Allie. That's definitely something that the Orioles need to contend with the three-point shooters that Wayzata can throw at them, is being able to defend that three-point line, try to keep them off that as much as possible. We'll get into that in a moment, Ryan. We'll look at our bracket for Section 6-4A. Hopkins had a bye, so their first playoff game was tonight. Armstrong had a lead in the second half, so the final score a little bit deceiving. Hopkins, the 1 seed, does advance over Armstrong. St. Louis Park defeated Washburn in the quarterfinals. Wayzata struggled early against Southwest, pulled away in the second half to win and advance to this game here tonight. Again, the section final Wednesday at 7 o'clock here at Osseo.
Yeah, and the thing you worry about when you're a jump shooting team like Wayzata is, and we've seen other teams that are great shooters, it's not something you can always rely on throughout, for the whole duration of a basketball game. We saw Wayzata against Hopkins a few weeks ago, and Wayzata came out, they shot the ball great, and it helped them in that first half. They went cold in the second half. So I think Wayzata is going to have to do some driving to the basket, attacking inside out as well.
Let's look at our starters, starting with St. Louis Park. Their forwards, Aiden Doherty, 6'5" senior, Luke Peterson, a 6'2" senior, and Anthony Rayson also in the front court. Rayson, a 6'5" junior. The guards, Joey Whitlock, 5'10" senior, and Kyrie Mayfield, a 6' senior. For the Wayzata Trojans, Tanner Jonas in forward, 6'5" senior. The guards, Jacob Benega, 5'10" junior. Luke Paulson, a 6' junior. Keaton Heidi, a 6'3" junior. And Drew Gallinson, 6'2" senior. As we are underway, Wayzata with the first possession of the game. We get a timeout because the clock has not started yet. It was not quite set for play.
Well, it was a good game, John. Fun to work with you.
It was good 4 seconds there. And they're going to have to play overtime. No score yet.
Maybe that's how they got into double overtime in that first game. My guess is, it will obviously stay Wayzata ball, and I guess it'll probably take about 8 seconds off that clock. I'm going to take 5 seconds. I was close.
All right, now we're set to go again. Paulson into the front court. Benega. Jonas handed it back out top. Good movement, just trying to get everybody involved here in this opening possession.
Yeah, if you've never seen Wayzata play, John, they have great spacing and great ball movement. They're constantly moving, and they work really well together.
Gallinson takes it hard to the rack. Can't get it to go, and Rayson rebounds for St. Louis Park. Orioles first possession now. Entry pass in and lost on the baseline by Doherty, and Wayzata gets it right back. Benega starts a drive and comes back out with the pass to Heidi. Now it's Gallinson to Paulson. And back into the hands of Benega. Will try a three-way short. And Jonas unable to save it.
Two things. One, I thought that time Paulson would have had a layup if he would have looked there. He had the opening. And two, I was watching Wayzata shoot. Granted, this isn't their home gym. And they were short on everything in the warm-ups. And there you see the first shot for Benega, well short. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on that, see if they adjust, whether it's just not getting used to the rims, the lighting, the atmosphere behind the rims, whatever it might be.
Down on the block to Rayson, double team, has to go back out. Benega steps in, gets to steal, he'll take it to the basket and gets fouled. And we'll go to the line to shoot two as he's fouled by Mayfield. Mayfield coming off a big game for the Orioles on Tuesday. Number 11 had 32 points in that quarterfinal round win.
Well, nice job. But besides the great effort there, getting into the passing lanes, I thought Benega did a great job realizing he was going to get contacted and just throwing it up there, doing whatever he had to do to get to 2 shots. And sometimes as a shooter and a scorer, the best thing you can do, especially if you miss that first jump shot, get to the foul line, try to find your rhythm that way.
That was the graphic we showed you in the pregame, and our key player for Benega, 90% free throw shooter, misses the first one here. Second one's good.
We always jinx it, right? When we talk about how good of a free throw shooter someone is, it seems like they always back it up with a miss.
Mayfield bringing it up against Benega. Mayfield, one of the senior leaders for this Park team. With a whistle and a blocking foul on Benega, trying to draw a charge. Look at Dave Brighton-Bucher, now 8th year head coach. Coached the Park Center for 4 years before St. Louis Park, but has been in the St. Louis Park system for years, with the exception of those years at Park Center, but has taught in that district for years and knows the program well and done a good job with this team. Mayfield from the corner, hits for 3.
Yeah, he's a very good shooter. He can extend out past the three-point range, but he's also very quick at getting to the basket. And getting back to that Benega block, those are the kind of fouls he's got to avoid because he's guarding a very good offensive player, and the last thing he wants to do is get foul trouble.
I suppose the idea was a great pass down to Jonas for 2 from Benninga. Was to try to get a second early foul on Mayfield on that when they tried on that block. So Wayzata ties it up at 3 on the basket by Jonas. Corner 3 by Peterson rattles home.
Well, St. Louis Park having no trouble finding their range here. Back-to-back corner threes. And Peterson knocks it down again. You saw the explosiveness of Mayfield as he split that double team. Great pass to his wide open teammate.
They work the perimeter. It's Paulson for a 3 off, and Peterson rebounds for Park. Into the hands of Mayfield.
That's how you got to defend Wayzata. That ball was moving around. Great offense. But you saw St. Louis Park just flying at the ball, and they forced a quick shot by Luke Paulson.
Mayfield finds Whitlock left side. In and out, and rebounded by Benninga. Whips it left side. Heidi kicks it out. Right wing 3 out of, not quite out of play, but missed by Gallinson and rebounded by the Orioles.
And you notice it was short too, John.
Mayfield trying to drive Jonas top to tip the ball into the backcourt. Mayfield gets it back to the corner. Peterson hits another 3.
Same exact spot from his first one there. And again, that was set up. Benninga went for the steal, and a nice job by Mayfield, corralling that ball, getting into the heart of the defense, and finding Luke Peterson, who buries his second 3. St. Louis Park coming out and shooting really well.
Oh, and Mayfield picks up a second foul there on Benninga. Look at that last 3.
No, and that's huge. That's the second foul on Mayfield, and there's a look at that nice drive and kick. And again, what I just said about Benninga getting that early foul, it comes back to bite Mayfield. And that's where you don't want to get wasted fouls, right? 30, 40 feet away from the basket.
In for Park to Sean Emerson, 5'8" senior, number 20. Grant Bokovitz and Connor Hale in for Wayzata as Park turns it over. Turns over Wayzata. Shot missed. Tie up between Whitlock and Benninga. And it will stay with the Orioles on the alternate possession.
Great hands that time by Whitlock. See him just pick that ball. Looked like Odell Beckham Jr. snatching that ball out of there. There's a look at Brian Schnettler in his 4th season at Wayzata. Of course, coming off a state tournament appearance last year. Just done a nice job of building a really solid program. And not only at the varsity level, but their youth program is solid all the way from 4th grade up.
Rayson unable to hang on to that ball on the block and turned over to Wayzata. (9-3) St. Louis Park. Played 4 minutes here in the first half. Heidi out high. Bokovitz down into Hale's hands. Benninga, deep 3 for him. Off the mark. Good rebound and follow up and in by Grant Bokovitz.
Yeah, great job corralling that rebound, keeping the ball up high, and able to just turn and finish easily like that. That's a big-time play.
Skip pass across to Whitlock. And back out with the pass, Doherty, and they swing it around right side to Peterson. Whitlock 3. Not good. Race on rebound. A little trouble with it. Throws it up there around the rim. Not good. And Bokovitz with a strong defensive board.
Bokovitz has come to play here. Just checked into the game. Has a great offensive rebound and putback. And they're a big-time defensive putback.
Hale is lined up at the three-point line. Brings it out. Gives it to Heidi. His 3 is good.
And that time he got down, got his legs into it. That was right in front of us. You could tell that was straight through the net. And that's a good sign if you're a Wayzata fan, knocking down that first triple.
Now 9-8 after the Keaton Heidi 3. Getting loose down low, Doherty assist to Emerson.
Yeah, great pass and a nice job by Doherty. At 6'5", he's got that good height, good length. And it's not always easy to catch and finish like that. Sometimes it looks easier than it is. Good hands by Doherty.
Benninga in some trouble, goes back out. Heidi not good. Rayson gets the board.
And Benninga really lucky to not get a charge on that one. I thought that was good defense by St. Louis Park. Trying to pick that second foul up on Jacob Benninga.
They swing it around left side. Doherty
Peterson into the hands of Emerson and Whitlock. Skip pass. Peterson open three. Not good, but he's fouled shooting the three by Heidi.
Yeah, and nice patient offense there. What they're doing, they're going 4 guards around the big fella down low and just looking to get it down low. Wayzata does such a good job of helping, and there they do a skip pass. And a good contest that time by Heidi, but you can't get any arm on that. You always tell guards, I always ask guards, how many shots have you blocked in your lifetime? It's usually not very many. Just get a hand up, make them hit a tough contested three, but don't foul them and give them 3 free throws out of it.
Peterson, a 73% free throw shooter on the season. It's the first of his 3 tries here. Second one out. In for Wayzata, Cody Williams, along with Cameron Heidi, the 8th grade and younger brother, Camden Heidi of Keaton Heidi. And also Tanner Jonas back in. Third one spins out, and Jonas the rebound. So just 1 of the 3. And Cody Williams, the freshman, will bring it up into the front court. In some trouble, but able to get the pass back to Paulson. Emerson playing tough defense on him. Into the paint goes Camden Heidi, gives it off. Williams driving, trying to dish it off for Jonas. Out of bounds, off Park.
Oh, nice job by Emerson there coming down to help. That was a good drive and kick. It would have been a layup. Emerson comes flying from the top of the key. That's help the helper defense, and that's what you got to do when you play good man-to-man. You got to have good help, but you got to be able to help the guy that helps.
3-pointer good for Paulson.
Oh, that's a tough shot, right? Running to your right, turning back to your left, hitting that baseline 3. And again, Wayzata hitting their second 3. Not a good sign if you're St. Louis Park.
Emerson traveled. Williams defended him well before he could get the pass away.
Nice screen, too. But again, squaring up like that with all your momentum going away from the basket, not an easy shot. Paulson, one of the many excellent shooters for Wayzata.
Anthony Oden's number 21 in for St. Louis Park. Jacob Houts, number 15, came in at the last whistle. Paulson defended by Emerson. Williams trying to take Whitlock off the dribble. And turned the ball over with the dribble.
Yeah, I could see, was that a carry that they called? I think it was. It looked like he did lose it a little bit on his palm there. You know, but if you're Wayzata too, I mean, how impressive. You got an 8th and a 9th grader playing significant minutes on your varsity team, who's, you know, with a chance to get to the section finals. I mean, that's, talk about being stocked for the future as well. You know, keep in mind too, St. Louis Park, there's a foul on a jump shot as well as Whitlock came off. I love how he came off that screen looking to fire. But St. Louis Park doing this without Kyrie Mayfield in the game, who picked up those 2 early fouls. The question will be, how long will Coach Brighton Bucher keep him on the bench with those 2 fouls?
In and out on the second free throw. Scramble on the floor. Jonas able to release the pass to Gallinson. Wayzata pushing it ahead. Heidi up and one.
What a finish.
Camden Heidi with a big play.
Well, that was a big time finish. Watch him run. Watch Heidi run. Kind of went off the wrong leg, but I think he did that to avoid the contact, the concentration, knowing you're going to get contact and probably take a hard foul, still able to finish it. Oh, and by the way, John, only an 8th grader as well. He's got great height. He's really put together physically, too, for an 8th grader. And you don't get a lot of those charge calls when you're underneath the basket like that. You got to get extended out just a little bit more.
Missed the free throw, but Jonas gets the offensive board for Wayzata. Back into the hands of Camden Heide. Jonas, he'll back it out with the pass to Williams. We're tied at 13, 10:20 to play here in the first half. Gallinson trying to release the pass to Hale, but
good throw
picked
ahead.
off. Ahead to Emerson. Got too far underneath. And Camden Heide got back to help interfere with that shot as well. Williams will drive it. Now kick it back out. Hale, skip pass across. And Camden Heide will slow it up here. Couple more passes into the hands of Williams again. Back to Camden Heide. And he'll hand off to Cody Williams. Now it's Drew Gallinson. Had it stripped away. Mayfield is back into the game for for Park. Takes it to the basket, and he'll go to the line for two.
Is he explosive or what? He gets going. He's so quick. Watch him take off. Nice job poking that ball loose, but watch Mayfield here get going. Bunch of crossovers. Keeps that ball up high, drives the contact. Almost got a three-point play.
Mayfield, an 80% free throw shooter. It's the first. Then again, Paulson back in for Wayzata. Second shot also good. With Peterson in, Mayfield got in for short time. Will come out, although let's see, he's right back at the scorer's table, so they'll get him back in for offense.
Great ball movement.
Gallinson drives out to Camden Heide. Peterson right up in his grill. Paulson to Benega for three. In and out. Good look. Jonas, offensive rebound, and Rayson got a hand out to block that. All the way to the basket goes Emerson. Short on the shot. And a foul on St. Louis Park. Nope, it's going to be on Wayzata.
No, on St. Louis Park.
Oh, you're right. Yep, it's going to be on Oden's. His first, team's four.
I'll tell you what, Wayzata moving the ball great passing, swinging the ball, but excellent defense so far by St. Louis Park. Closing out on their shooters, cutting down the driving lanes as well.
Benega gets it blocked out of play. Look at this again.
Yeah, nice drive there. He should have, if he could have finished with his right hand. That time just a nice job by Oden's coming from behind with those long arms and getting a piece of that.
(15-13) Park. Three-pointer way off by Paulson. And rebounded by Whitlock. Now Doherty. Left side, Whitlock, but Gallinson pops out on him.
Yeah, nice closeout by Gallinson. I thought Whitlock was going to have an open look there. Both teams really closing out on shooters nicely.
Doherty out to Whitlock, puts it on the floor, shot up and in.
Not only was that a great shot fake, but then he had another ball fake and able to step inside and then get it over the outstretched arms of a shot blocker. That was a big time move. We must know what we're talking about when we highlighted him before the game, John.
Benega across, open look on a three. Heide able to connect. That's Keaton Heide with his second three.
Yeah, really the only one knocking shots down from the perimeter for Wayzata, but it's such a big part of who they are and what they are. They're going to keep doing it. And you can tell when they drive, they penetrate looking to draw that help, and they're looking for their teammates opposite, trying to get good looks at the three-point line.
Rayson trying to back in, now gives it back to Emerson, gets his man in the air, and then Jonas blocks it from behind. Loose ball picked up, Doherty can't get it to go, and Gallinson rebounds. Benega will push it up. Trying to drive past his man, and we get a foul on the floor, whistled against Houts.
It's take a look at a couple of these buckets. Look at this beautiful move. Nice ball fake, and again, getting it over, just over the outstretched arms of Jonas. And here's a nice skipping it opposite, and Heidi knocks his second three down, and might have been some contact on that as well.
On House is his second. He comes out. Benega's shot, not good, and rebounded by Emerson. Nice bounce pass. Doherty gets under Gallants and then missed the shot. Benega pushing it back for the Trojans. Back out, Gallinson for three. That rolls out and rebounded by Rayson. Whitlock will push it up for Park. He'll try a three, not good, and rebounded by Heidi, and he gets fouled by Doherty.
Well, Doherty, great effort, but missed an easy putback there on that last possession. But he's got a quick jump, a good athleticism, and on the other side, Benega just struggling with that perimeter shot.
Bogovitz and Williams both back in for the Trojans.
St. Louis Park really keeping Mayfield on the bench for a lot of this first half with those two early fouls.
Loose ball and a steal over Emerson. Only had it for a moment. Now Williams comes back for Wayzata. Three-point shot, Paulson long, but rebounded by Keaton Heidi. Whitlock steps in front of Paulson, and he'll take it all the way. Oh, and missed it, Bunny.
I'll tell you what, give a lot of credit to Luke Paulson, number 12, for not giving up on that play. That ball was stolen, and his hustle looked like he might have got a little bit of piece of that ball. That's just great effort. Let's see that. Yeah, I mean, just you talk about the best camera work in the business, but look at that, just got a piece of that ball, and then said hello to our cameraman who's, look at him in there. He's got knee pain, back pain after that shot, hanging in there.
Billy's all right.
We got the best crew in the, forget the state, John, I think the country. Take that, ESPN. That's the great effort. That's what you want to see. I know Coach Snetler probably not thrilled with the way that Wayzata is shooting the ball, but those are championship type plays. When you get a steal like that, you don't give up on it, and you hustle back and you make just a fingernail on that basketball, and it's enough to cause him to miss that layup. Great effort.
Scoreboard here in the building says 17-15. I had 17-16 in my book, as you saw up on the screen for a minute, and unless one of those threes, the one by Paulson or one of the two by Heidi was actually a two-pointer, but we'll go with what's officially on the scoreboard here. It's
Heidi with 5 points up there, so maybe
okay,
that
so one of those
was
just a two. All right. So Trojans with the basketball. They trail by 2. 6 minutes to play here in the half. Williams pull-up shot, not good, and Rayson rips it down and he gets fouled by Volkovich.
Well, how about the big fella, Rayson, 6'5", thick and strong. He attacked that defensive rebound, and he gets those big mitts on it. It's going to be hard to take it away from him. But he's been impressive so far tonight, rebounding the basketball.
15 foul for Wayzata, so not a bonus yet for the Orioles as Trojans apply some token pressure here on the inbound. Whitlock brings it up in to the front court. Mayfield back into the lineup for the Orioles. He is such a factor in this game. He sat out, but really can make things go for the Orioles. Even without him, they've still been able to take the lead in this game. Here's Peterson.
Yep. Those are dangerous. Those cross-court passes on the perimeter are always dangerous. They seem to hang in the air a little bit. Benega gets his hands on it. It looked like Mayfield touched it too right after that. That's a turnover, and that's where you want to look for a back door. You got to dribble over to your guy, close that gap down so it's such a long pass.
And when they get a whistle, they've done this a couple of times, they'll bring Whitfield out when he's back on defense. Williams attacking, brings it all the way to the basket and scores.
Yeah, nice job by Cody Williams. And only a freshman, he is built like a senior. I mean, he's got good, strong body there. Use an explosive move right into the body, able to finish it. Beautiful looking move.
Peterson Into the hands of Emerson, trying to drive on Williams, gets the pass off. Whitlock for three, connects.
Beautiful stroke. Right on the baseline, hand in his face, got his legs, beautiful looking. Follow through in rotation, and he buries it.
Williams to the basket again and scores. Back-to-back hoops for Cody Williams.
You see, he's explosive. If he can go to his right like that, he's a very good finisher. Got to take his right away, try to force him to go left.
Rayson pops out for the ball. One dribble, couple dribbles, and then back into the hands of Whitlock. Emerson now to Peterson. Doherty, and it back down Heidi, trying to get the pass to Rayson, and it's picked off, and Benega gets fouled.
Oh, that's big. That's going to be 1-and-1 here for Wayzata. And again, Benega, over 90% free throw shooter, too.
Held on Whitlock, his first. Emerson out, Mayfield back in. There's free throw. How about that? Missed again, 1 out of 3 tonight. And Wayzata gets the steal. Here's Gallinson. He'll lay it in.
Well, nice job by Gallinson avoiding the contact, but also realizing that Mayfield with 2 fouls was probably not going to contest that and get in the basket.
Whitlock hands off to Mayfield as Wayzata's in the lead. Mayfield for 3. That missed. Long rebound, though, came right to Peterson. Mayfield, tough runner, not good.
Nice rebound.
And controlled by Jonas, and now into the hands of Benega. (21-20) Wayzata as we close in on 3 minutes to play in the first half. Off the hands of Jonas, out of bounds.
Oh, nice action there by Wayzata. It's a play they call Memphis, and it's kind of a misdirection. You try to get Benega coming on a side pick and roll there, and they had the roll. They're just a little hard pass to hold on to, and it's a turnover for Wayzata.
Mayfield will bring it up. Got 5 points in the game. Great dish off to Rayson.
Oh, what a pass and contact. How about the big fella Rayson getting those hands ready? And not only catching it, but stepping through, using his strength and finishing. But how about the vision here? Nice job, Mayfield. Knowing that they're trying to take his right away, goes hard to his left. And I love that when guards, no matter what, they got their eyes open. Don't force a bad shot. Draws all the defenders to him, steps it in, Rayson, big hands, and a nice finish for the big fella.
Connects, makes the three-point play.
Showing some touch, too, from the free throw line. Nice looking soft touch.
Orioles back in front. Williams back out on the pass to Paulson. Back to Cody Williams. He's attacked a couple of times here and does again and puts it off the glass.
And again, you can see he's got good strength, takes that contact. And John, if I'm playing against him, I'm forcing him to his left. He is a very good finisher when he's able to get that head of steam going to his right.
Pass too far for Rayson. Gallinson had it but couldn't stay in bounds. And it's back to Park. Mayfield and Doherty back in for St. Louis Park. Keaton Heidi back in.
And anytime Kyrie Mayfield's passing the ball in bounds, you got to watch him as the action here, trying to maybe come off a screen and get open.
Baseline drive, up and in.
Is he quick on that first step or what? My gosh. That's one of those where you know he wants to go right, but there's really nothing you can do about it because he's so quick. And a nice job, a little floater there on the baseline before the help can come.
Gallinson, not good. Jonas rebounds. Trying to get the pass out, but Mayfield steps up, picks it off. Whitlock, Peterson fires it into the hands of Mayfield. Mayfield drives all the way to the basket. Too strong and rebounded by Jonas.
Pretty impressive. I mean, he got double teamed off that pick and just kept going, showing his speed, able to turn the corner and exploded at the rim. Looked like there might have been some contact, no call. But a nice move, a very impressive move by Mayfield as well. They're almost doing offensive defensive substitutions with Mayfield. Do you notice that, John?
Yes.
They coming in on any out of bounds or stop play when they're going to be on offense, but just not wanting to have him pick up that third foul.
Williams attacking again. Jonas another offensive rebound. Williams floater, baseline is in. Boy, Cody Williams having a big first half here, now with 8 points off the bench. We're tied at 25 with 1:10 to go before halftime. And we get a timeout taken by St. Louis Park. Good first half.
Yeah, back and forth. Both teams playing hard, playing smart. And you got Cody Williams, who really off the bench, a surprise with 8 points already. And just being able to attack like that. Of course, those 2 fouls on Mayfield, but still, when he's been in the game, he's been electrifying. Made a couple of great baskets, a couple of nice passes. Joey Whitlock knocking perimeter shots down. And, you know, Wayzata not shooting as well as they normally do or would like to, but still, I think just with their effort and defensively on top of it, still obviously in this game with it tied at 25. Pretty evenly matched teams, right? And it's,
I think so, yeah.
You know, when they went into double overtime the first time here, really showing that wasn't a fluke, because they've just kind of, neither team's got a huge lead and just kind of back and forth, play after play. These are fun games to be a part of.
Mayfield in the game with just over a minute to go. Played a long time with those 2 fouls, been in and out of the lineup.
See if they try to just run that clock down and maybe save for a last shot.
Out of 45 seconds, back into the hands of Mayfield. Gallinson defending hard, Benega defending hard. Loose ball in the backcourt. Benega trying to get it to Heidi, and we get a foul on the floor. Boy, it was a lot of contact before we got a whistle. And finally a foul called against Aiden Doherty.
Well, there was contact there, but I kind of like the no call, as both guys were both going for it. I mean, no matter what, that's unbelievable effort by a number of players on both teams there. You know, you love seeing Benega flying, sacrificing his body on that, and you just great effort, really, by both sides.
Doherty's his second. And Keaton Heidi to the line for the 1-on-1.
Well, Keaton Heidi's really the lone Trojan that shot the ball well here in the first half. He's knocked a couple of threes down, and there knocks down a free throw. Or wait, they only gave him credit for one.
2 on one of them, yeah.
But at least he's knocked a couple of perimeter jump shots down.
Second one is good as well. Wayzata back in the lead with 30 seconds to play.
You know, and I don't always necessarily love holding the ball for the last shot. I think you've had a pretty good rhythm. Look to attack.
Under 20 to go. Mayfield on Paulson, driving. A step back baseline shot, not good. Rebounded by Gallinson. At the horn. Off the mark. Dave Breitenbucher wanted a foul there on his shooter near the end of the baseline shot by Mayfield.
Well, great defense by Paulson, just moving his feet. That's what you want to do. You're playing a great offensive player. Kyrie Mayfield, force him into a tough contested jump shot. Excellent defense.
27-25, Wayzata. Good first half of basketball here between the Orioles and the Trojans.
Low scoring, too, for these teams. Both of these teams used to scoring a lot more.
Let's go down to Allie Arnold standing by with Jay Breitenbucher.
Coach, a lot of defense in that first half. What did you see?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
A lot of defense early in that first half.
Yeah, you know, I thought we were doing a good job running them off the three-point line. You know, Wayzata's tough. They can shoot it, they can drive. I'm happy with the way my guys are playing defense. I mean, we just got to keep going.
Obviously, you're going to see a lot more Kyrie, hopefully, in the second half for you guys. How much has that impacted the first?
Yeah, that was a big second foul. I didn't like it, but, you know, that's just the way it is. He kept his head in the game, and, you know, we got him the second half, so it should be good.
How much pressure do you need to put on that perimeter to shut down that three in the second?
Yeah, well, I mean, we just got to keep getting out on shooters. We got to run them off the three-point line and make them beat us, you know. And I tell you what, Wayzata's doing a good job. They've been getting to the basket, too, but I think we're doing a good job defensively, so.
Appreciate your time, Coach.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thanks, Allie. 27-25. Wayzata leads St. Louis Park at halftime. We'll take a break, come back with more of our halftime and then the second half of play. You're watching the Section 6 4A Boys Basketball Tournament on CCX.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Wayzata 27, St. Louis Park 25 at halftime of our Section 6 semifinal game. Let's look at the highlights from the first 18 minutes here tonight at Osseo, our second semifinal of the night. St. Louis Park getting out to an early lead. Kyrie Mayfield coming off that big section quarterfinal round game, hitting a three. Wayzata able to score, especially inside tonight. We've seen them in many games do majority damage from the outside tonight, more the inside.
And there's a nice driving kick that time to Luke Peterson, who knocked down back-to-back threes from the same spot. There's the next one right there. Yeah, you're to your point too, John. I mean, Wayzata, give them credit. They're adjusting. They're not shooting the ball great, so they're attacking a little bit better. And there's a couple of their threes in the first half. A nice job knocking that down by Heidi.
And then inside, St. Louis Park able to score on the hoop for Doherty. St. Louis Park for the game, 4 3-pointers made and 2 for Wayzata. The game, one of them right there for Paulson.
Yeah, what a tough shot too, going away from the basket and squaring up. And there's what we thought was a second 3-pointer for Heidi, but it was ruled a 2-pointer. But he knocks down another perimeter shot.
And then the Whitlock hitting a 3-pointer.
Whitlock had a good first half, and how about this kid, the freshman off the bench, Cody Williams, drove hard to his right a number of times, ended up with 8 points in the first half. There's a gorgeous look, great pass, and a nice finish by the big fella, Anthony Rayson. Rayson
able to score as Williams again, that time the baseline shot for 2. As we look at our scores for the first half, Peterson and Kyrie Mayfield 7, Whitlock 6 to lead Park, Cody Williams 8, Keaton Heidi 7, Luke Paulson with 3 for Wayzata. Good one so far. Wayzata 27, St. Louis Park 25. The winner to play Hopkins Wednesday for the section championship. We'll take time out. Come back. More boys basketball from Osseo after this.
Doesn't see race. Love is love.
27-25, Wayzata leads Park. Back we go. Allie standing by now with Brian Schnettler.
Coach, ahead by 2 points at half, but this one's already shaping up to be a lot different than 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's a lot lower scoring game. Defense on both ends has been pretty good. I think we got guys that can hit more shots, and I think we'll do that this half. But really proud of somehow some of our other guys that haven't scored a lot have stepped up for us.
What'd you tell the guys in the locker room to put this away, because it'll be tight through the finish?
Well, defensively, we got to keep doing what we're doing. Got to keep 11 out of the paint, got to do a good job on the boards. Offensively, we got to get a little more cutting. We're standing a little bit, but paint touches do us a lot of good.
Thanks, Coach. Guys.
Thanks, and Coach Schnettler mentioned guys contributing who haven't scored a lot. Williams averages 3.5 points a game. Keaton Heidi averages 5.8. They're both over that in the first half.
Well, I think the key is we take a look at some of the shooting percentages here. Look at that 3-point field goal for Wayzata, 2 for 13. I mean, they're normally a good 30 to 40% 3-point shooting team, and obviously 2 for 13 is not what they're used to. And you heard Coach Schnettler say we got to have guys knock shots down, and we're going to do that. So I expect Wayzata to shoot a lot better in the second half. I also expect that man right there, Kyrie Mayfield, to really get going. He had to sit quite a bit in that first half with those 2 fouls. See if St. Louis Park can get him in a little bit better rhythm in the second half.
Your daughter delivering you cookies at halftime here, Ryan?
She's supposed to, but the problem is she ends up eating them on the way back to me. And I have proof because there's chocolate all over her face usually when she comes back with that. So.
Well, it's playoff time for high school basketball, but I know youth tournament's going on. You've got a tournament for your son's team,
yeah, we got
right?
For 4th grade basketball. Really, all youth basketball has our state tournament this weekend. So a lot of fun, and that's the thing too. I was talking about. You look at these varsity programs, and it's really indicative of how good their youth programs are, right? It's fun when Wayzata, who's obviously very good at the varsity level, very talented all the way from 4th grade up, and St. Louis Park, again, having some youth programs step up to the plate too. So it's a lot of fun. You come to a 4th grade basketball tournament, we get as into it as some of the varsity coaches and teams do at their program. So if you're a competitor, it doesn't matter if you're in 4th grade or varsity. It's a lot of fun.
All right, one key for each team in the second half. Ryan, the rest of the way.
I think the key is Wayzata got to shoot the ball better. They got to convert their open looks, and I expect them to do that. And for St. Louis Park, they got to keep defending that 3-point line, but they got to find a way to get Kyrie Mayfield. I think he's got to be in the 20s before this game is over as far as scoring goes.
Benega off the glass, not good, and Rayson with the rebound. Mayfield to Rayson and back into the hands of Kyrie Mayfield. 18 points per game on the season. That's 7 tonight. Rayson down low off the glass, up and in.
I'll tell you what, that play was won before Rayson even touched the basketball. He used that big body and walked his defender right up the line. Great feed, too, by Mayfield. Easy finish. Nice job by St. Louis Park.
Gallinson gives it off to Heidi. Keaton Heidi finishes.
He's been big. He's been great, and he's filled up because you got a guy like Gallinson who averages just under 14. He's only got 2. With Benega averaging about 20 points a game, he's down today too. So you got to have these other guys step up, and Heidi's certainly done that.
Trojans back up by 2. Mayfield traveled. Couldn't keep his dribble. Thought he had, but didn't.
Man, it looked like he kept that dribble going, didn't it?
Benega inbounds, and Paulson will bring it up here. Heidi to Jonas. Gallinson looks inside.
Oh, that's big. That's going to be the third foul.
The ball. It's going to be
Mayfield,
on Mayfield, his third.
And again, a foul away from the play, away from the ball, just not a necessary foul. It's one thing if you're contesting a wide open layup and you get a foul, but those kind of fouls when there's just no point for it, especially when you're as good of a player as Mayfield, as important to St. Louis Park as he is as well, you just got to resist from those types of fouls.
He'll stay in here. Benega drives to the basket, and Rayson trying to get the block, but he got some arm too and commits the foul.
Oh, smart play by Rayson. Beautiful move by Benega. Step back and go finish that. And hey, if you're a big fella protecting the basket, obviously you don't want any injuries there, but you want to foul him hard. You don't want to give him that three-point play opportunity. Yeah, and Benega just that 1 point in the first half. Good to see him knock down a free throw. 1 for 3 in the first half. Like we talked about, over 90% from the free throw line. There, it looked like a nice rhythm shot on his first free throw.
Nothing but net on the second one as well. 4-point Wayzata lead.
Yeah, if you're St. Louis Park here, you got to be careful. You don't want to let go a couple possessions without scoring. Let Wayzata open up an 8 to 10 point lead.
Mayfield just lost the ball out of bounds. Turnover for the Orioles.
I think Mayfield felt like there was some contact and some reaching going on there.
They've definitely let some things go here tonight on both ends.
Which I like. I'm okay with that as long as it's consistent both ways.
Gallinson back out to Benega.
Yeah, and if I'm Benega, I'm attacking every time I can against Mayfield.
Keaton Heide, how big has he been tonight? 12 points now for the junior.
I'm just playing at a great pace too. Not rushing it, but confident. One quick shot fake, one dribble, pull up, nice shot. Knocks down another three-pointer.
Biggest lead of the game for Wayzata. 7 points now at 34-27. A deliberate possession here by Park. Whitlock takes it to the basket. Jonas stripped it away from him and knocks it out of bounds.
I'll tell you, Wayzata's hands are very active here, especially in the second half. Anyone getting to the basket, they're getting in those hands in there and slapping at it, doing a nice job.
Mayfield able to inbound to Peterson. Peterson's been quiet after a couple of threes early. Doherty for Whitlock, off from Mayfield. Kicks it back out, Peterson. Whitlock will drive, Jonas gets a block. Underneath, Rayson will throw it off the glass and in.
I don't even know if Rayson's had his eyes at the basket. That was like an old hook shot, and he banks it in. Nice finish, and a much needed basket too by St. Louis Park as they get their first bucket here in the second half. You know, Allie alluded to it talking to both coaches, but there has been a lot of really good defense by both teams. Nothing easy on either end. They're having to work many passes.
Heide attacks and scores.
Other than that guy, everything's looking very easy right now for Heide. He is attacking, playing offense with a ton of confidence too.
Rayson throws it back out to Mayfield. He'll attack, explodes to the basket, but the shot comes out. Gallinson has it, pushing it ahead for the Trojans. Trying to get the bounce pass, and Whitlock steps in ahead for Rayson. Back into the hands of Doherty from Mayfield, and he'll slow it down and get the Orioles back into a rhythm. Whitlock to Rayson. And the big man gives it back to Mayfield. Still a 7-point Wayzata lead. Under 13.5 minutes to play in the second half. Into Rayson, up, and they go to the line for two.
I like that action, that movement. They're getting Kyrie Mayfield there on the left side. He's got a great angle, and he's beautiful post feed down to Rayson, and watch Rayson use that body. Quick hands, too. Good help by Heide, but reaching in just a little bit, and now you got to have Rayson's got to knock these free throws down. You got to make them pay when they foul you down low.
Volkovitz, Williams, and Hale all in for Wayzata, and Emerson in for St. Louis Park. Rayson eyes it up, and he's perfect again. 3 for 3 from the line tonight. (36-31). Hale in the corner for Wayzata. Oh, Cutter Williams to the basket. Can't get the finish. Bogovitz. And partially blocked by Mayfield. And he has it for the Orioles.
Well, unlucky. Mayfield's got to be careful with that contact with those 3 fouls.
A foul on the floor before the drive by Mayfield on Hale. Ooh.
That was close too. You can tell Wayzata doing everything they can to really collapse that paint on Kyrie Mayfield, wanting him to feel that pressure, not getting those open lanes.
Mayfield threw it away.
Yeah, and I'd like to see him try to finish that. He had the step there on the baseline. So he's got to be selfish in that regard and try to finish that.
Williams looked like he traveled, got away with it. Dave Brighton-Digger didn't like that non-call. Cody Williams back out. Keaton Heide, one dribble into the hands of Benninga. Drive knocked away by Rayson out of bounds. Not been easy for Benninga trying to go to the basket. He's drawn a lot of contact tonight.
Well, and I think you credit St. Louis Park's defense. Obviously keying on Jacob, and he's had to earn his points, and there he gets a nice, that time he got squared up, got his legs into it, and wasn't short on it, finished it. That's a big shot, not only for Wayzata in the score, but just for Jacob's confidence, I think, as well.
His first field goal of the night. It's an 8-point lead, the biggest lead for Wayzata, and a timeout for St. Louis Park.
Yeah, same out of bounds play that we saw in the first half with Luke Paulson knocked down a shot. That time Benninga comes right off as the inbounds passer. Defense goes underneath it, and he gets a good, clean look. Didn't have to rush it, and took time, got his legs involved. And he's had 5 points here in the second half. He's up to 6 for the game.
Plenty of section boys basketball next week here on CCX.
And you can see Emerson that time, who was guarding Benninga. You got to trail that screen. You got to go around it, make Benninga put it on the floor. Instead, he goes underneath that screen. And again, like you just said a minute ago, Benninga, really, they're making him work when he's driving to the basket. I'd continue to make him a driver. Use your physicality against him. You don't want to give shooters open looks because it's just a matter of time, usually, before they find their rhythm. You can see, too, points off of turnovers, which always is a big teller of who's winning a game. And this game right now is an 8-point game. There's a 7-point difference off points off of turnovers. Wayzata 9 turnovers versus 11 to St. Louis Park, but more importantly, Wayzata's converted those turnovers into points, scoring 15 of them.
Mayfield try to get Park going. Ball kicked by Wayzata. I'll stay with the Orioles.
Well, I think you credit Wayzata too. I mean, you can just see that defense is collapsing. They're not making anything easy for Kyrie Mayfield. Just totally respecting his speed, his quickness.
Inbound to Whitlock, Benninga, and he both go up for the ball. And they call the foul on Benninga. It's his second. Nobody on Wayzata more than 2 fouls. And Mayfield, the only player in the game with 3. The 12 minutes to play in the second half. Fairly low scoring, as Ali mentioned at halftime, contrasting to the first game, although that was double overtime, 83-80. We'll score and get a foul away from the basketball beyond Wayzata, beyond Bokovitz. It's his second.
It feels like it's picking up a little bit as far as the tighter calls, monitoring a little bit of that physicality.
Camden Heide in for Keaton Heide.
What do you think they say to each other on the way out? Like, go get him, brother. This is a dream that we get to play together. Or today's case, I'm sure Keaton's saying, why are you taking me out? I got the hot hand.
And ball turned over on the dribble by Park. Orioles turnover. Just not quite in rhythm offensively. I mean, part of that is their own, part of it's Wayzata's defense, but they have not been as sharp as they were early on offensively.
Well, you can tell Wayzata too is really trying to take away his right hand. Oh, there's Benega again. I think that open look he got where he knocked that three down gave him a little bit of confidence. He had a little quicker first step there, a little more easy path to that basket attacking. But, you know, getting back to defending Mayfield, you can tell Mayfield definitely not going to his left. Wayzata, nice job on the scouting report, taking that away.
Whitlock drives, draws the foul. He'll go to the line for 2.
You know, another interesting thing, too, when you have a great player, and, you know, he was out in the first half with foul trouble. You saw Joey Whitlock, Luke Peterson really stepping up, right? And sometimes these secondary players, not that they're secondary, but not as focal, if you will, as Mayfield, they take that back seat to him, right? And sometimes it's an interesting dynamic. I think if St. Louis Park's going to get back into this game, they need Joey Whitlock, they need Luke Peterson to step up and be aggressive as well.
And Anthony Oden's back into the lineup for Park. Second free throw, also good for Whitlock. Lead is 8. Steal by Mayfield off the inbound.
Oh, wow.
And in for 2.
Great hands. You see how he exploded. I thought there was contact at the rim as well, and didn't matter. He finished it. Big turn of events. There's 4 quick points, and St. Louis Park right back in this game.
Benega driving out to Hale. Now to Williams. Interior pass ends up in the hands of Camden Heidi. And while he's at a timeout, Coach Schnauer can see his player in trouble and gets a timeout.
Look at these hands. Look at him go right into the chest there. Nice contact. I thought that could have been an and one on that play as well. And on that last Wayzata possession, I thought Williams had a layup there. I thought he overpassed. Could have exploded. One more dribble. Could have got to the rim for a layup. Instead, tried to make that extra pass, and a nice timeout, too, by Coach Netler. I love coaches, too, when out of a timeout, you see him, he's got the clipboard there. I love when they draw something up, trying to show maybe St. Louis Park has scouted them. They know what they like to run underneath out of bounds. Do you come back with something? See if they can get a quick, easy look here on the underneath out of bounds play.
Luke Paulson inbounding here, gets it in for Drew Gallinson. Both of those guys back in at that timeout. Benega trying to get the pass, and we get a foul.
Oh, that's going to be 4, I believe, on Mayfield. Yep. Yeah, that's the 4th foul. That's big. They're just starting to get a little bit of momentum, too. Let's see if we can see where Mayfield.
Yeah.
Wow. There's a little bit of contact, but I don't know.
Camden Heidi. And get it back out, and does to Gallinson. Gallinson. Paulson wide open.
Yep, nice drive, nice kick. Gallinson struggled to score the ball, only 2 points, but he still attacks the basket, draws this help defender. Great pass, Luke Paulson, wide open look. Wayzata starting to shoot the ball a little bit better here in the second half. Getting Luke Paulson and Jacob Benega hitting from outside.
Doherty turns and faces the basket short, rebounded by Benega. Off for Paulson, back for Benega for 3. That's one off, and a good strong rebound by Emerson. Doherty to Whitlock. Back out Emerson. He's going to attack the basket and he'll go to the line for 2.
You know, Emerson's had a nice game. He's not the scorer, obviously, that Mayfield is, but a very good defender. There's Gallinson driving, taking 2 defenders with him, and a nice job spotting up. That's what you got to do, too. You got to be available as a teammate, as a shooter. Luke Paulson slides down to that corner 3 and knocks it down.
Emerson the line for 2. Park without any bench points tonight. First one up and in. Outs back in for Park. Williams for Wayzata.
Let's see if St. Louis Park, maybe after a made free throw, if they don't try to extend their defense, pick up full court, see if they can get a trap like they've been doing. Maybe try to speed this younger Wayzata team into making a couple of mistakes.
7-point game. Paulson attacks the basket. How about that?
That was beautiful. You see how he went from right to left hand in the air? Avoided the shot block, went underneath, finished with the left hand. Nice move.
Orioles with the basketball. They trail by 9, nearing the midway point of the second half. Hopkins beat Armstrong in the first semifinal tonight. Drive shot up.
wow.
Whitlock couldn't quite get the shot to go, but he will go to the line and shoot 2.
That was a heck of a move, and just to get that shot off was impressive, much less from that angle he was at, almost made that. But again, you see with Mayfield out with the foul trouble, Joey Whitlock starting to be a little bit more aggressive, a little more assertive, and an excellent free throw shooter as well.
It's the first one. Rayson back in. Doherty out for Park. Second one also good.
St. Louis Park done a nice job of knocking their free throws down tonight.
Allenson lost it. Able to find Paulson. Tough shot off the glass. Not good. Offensive rebound. Jonas off for Williams, up and in. He only has 2 points tonight, but Tanner Jonas has really been a force on the glass for Wayzata.
Yeah, he's played big, and he's played his role really well. Well, great teams always have those players that know what their role is, and they do it well.
Foul called here on Paulson of Wayzata. So look at the last basket.
And a beautiful pass, and Williams, again, if he's able to go to the right where he can use that strong body and finish, he's been very effective at that. And he's into double figures too. And you mentioned on the year, what, 3 points per game average. So getting almost 3 times what he normally would get in a game. You talk about stepping up and only being a freshman too, getting some big time experience.
St. Louis Park's in the bonus. Free throw up and in. And Park for the night now 14 out of 17 from the free throw line.
Yeah, really shooting it well. That's what's kept them into this game. The interesting thing, how long do you keep Kyrie Mayfield on the bench with those 4 fouls? There's 8 minutes left. You know, at some point you got to ask yourself, what are we saving him for, right? If he were to foul out, so be it. You got to get in there. They need his offense, his spark. But in his absence, Joey Whitlock's really stepped up, I thought, tonight, and been very aggressive.
Second one's good. 12 points now for Whitlock. Right now, kind of bouncing between a 9 and 7 point lead in this game. Paulson, Danica open 3. Not good. Rayson with the rebound.
Yeah, he missed that shot, but that was beautiful offense. Good drive and kick. Luke Paulson got that quick first step, and they're so unselfish, too. It's fun basketball to watch.
Whitlock for 3. Not good. And a rebound by Heidi, Keaton Heidi. Benega off for Williams. Williams explodes to the basket and scores.
He's got good body control, doesn't he? He plays at a good pace. Hard and strong, but not too fast where he's out of control. And man, he gets close to that rim. He knows how to finish. That's his 6th field goal. He's got 12 points.
Emerson. Here's Peterson for 3. Too strong. Heidi had it knocked out of his hands by Emerson, out of bounds. Last touch by Benega. Good hustle by Emerson.
You know, what I love, you see him sprawling out on the floor, but you see his bench react too. Very excited, pumped up for that effort. That's what you love to see, a teammate just giving his body up for the betterment of the team. And I like this call too. Right now, Coach Brighton Bucher is going to put in Kyrie Mayfield with about 7 minutes left, knowing we're down 9. We need a spark on offense.
Here's Whitlock to Emerson, right side. Mayfield drive will pull up on the baseline and in.
He's got that quick first step, John, but what I like that he does, a lot of players, it's either a 3 or a layup. He's got that little floater, the mid-range. He can get over the top when the help defense comes. That's a smart move, and it takes a lot of touch, too.
Drive, Benega off the glass and in.
The flip side is Benega's going at Mayfield, knowing he's got 4 fouls.
Mayfield for 3, short, rebounded. Doherty, and he gets fouled by Jonas. He'll go to the line for 2.
Be interesting to see if St. Louis Park maybe switches and takes Mayfield off of Benega. You can tell Benega's eyes just lit up there. Great effort, too, on this play by Doherty. Just went up strong, got the rebound. He's got to knock these down.
They call the foul on Keaton Heidi. It's his 3rd. Doherty, his first time at the free throw line tonight. Connects. Mason in, Peterson out for St. Louis Park. Second one also good.
Good looking free throws. Again, St. Louis Park continuing to knock their free throws down. And I expect to see Jacob Benega look to attack this matchup.
It's an off for Williams. Another layup.
And he's just getting it. His eyes just wide open, looking to attack. I think he surprised himself. There was no help there, able to just get again all the way to the rim.
Grayson out high. Whitlock. Mayfield puts it on the deck. Pull up over Paulson, in and out. And rebounded by Benega. Took it away from Emerson. Benega trying to get it out to Williams. Does. Paulson back on a 3. Whips it across the court. Nobody there. Gallinson in. And he'll replace Jonas. And Peterson in for Park. Excuse me, Oden coming in, replacing Emerson. Oh, wait. Jacob Houts, 3rd try in for Park. They trail it by 9. We're under 6 minutes to go. And the last several minutes, Ryan, has just they've been kind of just trading baskets, and they need more than that. They need some stops and a little offensive spurt here.
Yeah, they need 2 or 3 good possessions.
Rayson up and in.
Nice side pick and roll. We've seen that pass from Mayfield to Rayson a number of times tonight. Hey, Rayson's got 9 points. He's got great touch around the basket. But this is where St. Louis Park, to your point, John, has to get a stop.
And Paulson missed underneath. And the Orioles get the rebound. Here's Peterson from the corner for 3.
The senior comes back into the game. No, it wasn't, yeah.
Houts hits the 3-pointer.
The shot looks very much like Peterson's too, doesn't it? Knocks down the 3. We got a 4-point game here.
Williams with a whistle and a foul on the Orioles, to think on Houts. Houts hits the 3 at one end. Foul at the other end. We got a discrepancy on the scoreboard.
Well, the question will be, yeah, the scoreboard, but the question is, are they going to get that on the floor or in the act of shooting? But how about that big time shot? Jacob Howitz hasn't scored tonight, I don't believe. That was his first shot, knocking it down.
The score you see there, and then up to your left on the screen is correct, but they've had problems with this.
Yep.
The big scoreboard here from time to time, and they will go with the other auxiliary scoreboards.
Our guys in the truck got it right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bottom left of your TV screen is
always
unnegotiable.
right.
It's always correct. They're going to get that foul on the floor, so that's big instead of 2 free throws. That's where St. Louis Park, they've scored twice in a row, got to stop.
Williams, Jonas is wide open.
How good has Williams been tonight, John? He goes hard. He's finished so many times tonight. That time, the defense finally slid over to help. Great unselfish play. He's been huge.
Doherty. Now come back out. It's Mayfield with the ball, right side. Cross for Doherty. He'll attack the basket, miss the shot. Rayson gets it. He'll go up strong. That's not good. Emerson gets it up. That won't go. Follow up by Doherty won't go. Oh my goodness. The Orioles had all sorts of chances and couldn't finish. And finally a foul call on Park.
How about Deshaun Emerson's effort on that, John? I mean, watch him just fly. Doherty, nice big fella, gets his hands on it. He misses it. There's Emerson flying into it. Great shot fake, misses that one, but just a super effort by St. Louis Park.
Into Heidi, and we'll get another foul on Doherty. Picks up 2 fouls in a row, now has 3 in the game. It's a 6-team foul, according to my book, on St. Louis Park. The officials with the main scoreboard going out, the team fouls. Oh no, now they are listed on the auxiliary scoreboards. I believe it's 6. They have 5 listed right now for Park. Now they've changed it to 6.
Yep. So both teams are in the, Wayzata will be in the bonus from here on out. And St. Louis Park will be shooting the double bonus from here on out.
No, I'm not sure what the officials are talking about because it seemed like they had the foul discrepancy.
Trying to figure out who that foul was on. The foul on that was on Aiden Doherty, number 2.
Well, 56-50 Wayzata with the basketball, 6-point lead. Just over 4 minutes to go. Williams comes back out with the pass to Gallinson. Back to Cody Williams.
Oh, that's off blue. Yeah, great defense.
Emerson helps create the turnover. It's off Gallinson. Jacob Houts back in, replacing Emerson.
Bench excited for Emerson. They appreciate his effort. He's the one that's flying on the floor, going after offensive rebounds.
Keaton Heidi back in for Wayzata. Williams out. Under 4 to go now. Mayfield in the hands of Houts. Few possessions ago for the Orioles. Mayfield.
Oh,
great dish off of Doherty.
I'll tell you, that play was made for 2 reasons. One, Mayfield went to his left, and then a beautiful job splitting the double team. Gets into the heart of that defense. Great no-look pass. He's been great passing the ball. Maybe hasn't scored as much as he normally does, but he's made some very great unselfish passes tonight.
Four-point or Wayzata lead, and touch fall on Whitlock on the drive by Benega.
And again, beautiful no-look pass, looking off to his left, coming back to his right, finds Doherty for a layup. And look at the reaction of the St. Louis Park bench. They're fired up into this game, trying to cheer their teammates on.
Benega to the line for 2. Comes out.
Oh, 1-on-1.
You're right. 1-on-1 there.
They get a rare miss, but he's missed a couple of them tonight.
Mayfield rises up for the jumper, missed everything.
Yeah, and you don't want to see him settle for that, right? He's a good shooter, but he's so much better when he's able to penetrate. Whether he's scoring or making a play for a teammate, you don't want to see him settle for that. He's too good to have to settle for a contested, long 2-point shot.
Emerson back in for Houts for Park. Under 3 minutes to go. Still a 4-point lead for Wayzata. There in the bonus, St. Louis Park in the double bonus. Keaton Heidi out to Gallinson. No reason to rush anything or force anything here for Wayzata. And then Doherty called for the foul out top.
You know, and again, just not a smart foul. You're putting a 81% free throw shooter on the line shooting 1-and-1. But just no reason to foul that far away from the basket.
One of the assistants on Park thought that was the 5th foul on Doherty, so they had called their players over to get that extra time to get a player in, but it was just his 4th. So Gallinson has not been to the free throw line tonight. As Ryan mentioned, 81% free throw shooter. It's a 1-on-1 here for the Trojan senior. And connects.
Hasn't had a great scoring game tonight, but I'll tell you what, a great shooter. You step to that free throw line, and he looked all rhythm and blues right there. Knocks it down, hardly even hit the net.
Second one, solid as well.
And that's another reason why you don't want to be trailing Wayzata come the end of a game where you have to foul them, because they really are, as a team, they have a bunch of individuals that shoot in the high 80s, low 90s free throws.
Houts thought about a 3. Gallinson was pretty well up on him. Rayson puts the ball on the door, and he gets fouled by Tanner Jonas. And so now Rayson will go to the line for 2 because Park in that double bonus. Jonas picks up his first foul, and we get Rayson going to work on the block there.
I'll tell you what, the big fella moves pretty good, doesn't he? He's got a good, strong body, quick feet. And Jonas, you know, again, not scoring a ton tonight, but he's had a really nice game. Played good defense, some big rebounds too. Played very physical for Wayzata.
St. Louis Park has made all 13 of their free throw attempts here in the second half.
Yeah, they've been excellent from the foul line tonight.
Second one also good. Back to a 4-point game. 2:10 to go. Benega will bring it up here for the Trojans. Gallinson off to Williams. Williams to the basket. And in. Wow, Cody Williams.
And his moves look very similar to each other, don't they, John? That quick, explosive first step.
Mayfield gets fouled. He'll go to the line for 2.
And see, that's how I think Mayfield should have played all game, where he's just in that attack mode. But again, you overplay, and Williams got that strong body, that quick first step, and very good at finishing around the basket. That time a little bit of a floater over the big fella Rayson, who came over just a step too late.
Mayfield's first free throw up and in.
You know, he's a kid that should be at the free throw line 8 to 10 times a game with his quickness and the way he attacks. If he's not getting to the free throw line, it tells me he's not being aggressive enough.
Four-point game again. 1:48 to go. Paul says it's stolen by Whitlock. And then stepped on the baseline, trying to keep it back in bounds.
That was pretty good. Great effort by Whitlock. Let's see if his foot was, oh, just I think on that black
toe,
line.
yeah.
Great effort, though.
Inbound here for Benga, the Trojans. Got it to Gallinson.
And that's the thing, too, when you start thinking about who do you want to foul, who do you want to foul in this Wayzata team? All 5 very good shooters. I'd say normally you go after Cody Williams, but with the kind of game he's had, and that's going to be the 5th foul on Kyrie Mayfield. Wow. I'm surprised they didn't switch that matchup up, John. They kept Mayfield on him all second half, even with that 4 fouls, and a smart job by Benega going right at him.
Mayfield, one of 4 senior starters for the St. Louis Park team. A timeout on the floor here. And Dave Breitenbucher said it's been a fun group to coach, a good year. You always like that as a coach when you've got good players and good kids to coach.
Well, and it seems like it too. And what I love to see is you don't always see, even with good teams, you see the bench. They don't really care what's going on, right? I love St. Louis Park. Everyone's involved in the huddle. They're cheering and clapping and helping guys up when they're diving on the floor. And you just love to see that togetherness, you know. And obviously having a few more seniors on their team, and you know this matters. This means something to them. And I always say too, and when you get to the playoffs, these seniors, there's a little bit extra urgency because you never know if you're going to play competitive basketball again. You want to leave everything you can on that floor. How about Wayzata? I mean, yeah, coming back and really shooting the ball well, 50%. But I think that the big difference is look at the disparity in free throws. 21 for 24 for St. Louis Park, which has really kept them in this basketball game. Wayzata, uncharacteristically, 63%. They're usually a little bit sharper than that. And again, Wayzata still not shooting the ball very well from three-point land, but a little bit better here in the second half.
Well, they're 2 for 13 at halftime, so why does that make them 3 out of 5 here in the second half? And
but I like that they haven't relied on it, right? They've gone more to the rim, and obviously having Cody Williams, you know, I think he's got, what, 16 or 18 points? Yeah. All of them coming on 8 two-point field goals, all going at the rim. Benega got a couple more going to the basket, so.
Free throw up and in. Second one for the junior guard, also in. 6-point game, minute and a half to go. Whitlock, 3 for Houts. It's one long, rebounded though by Doherty.
How about that effort?
And he gets fouled, they'll go to the line.
Both number twos, great effort going for the ball. And Doherty hasn't had a phenomenal game tonight, but he plays hard. Watch him attack this rebound. Great effort, really, by both of those guys.
You know, and one of those seniors that you talked about, they're going to timeout. They're not going to leave anything out on the court here.
No, and really, win or lose, St. Louis Park can walk away with their head high, as could Armstrong from the game we did earlier. Armstrong gave it everything they got, and they gave Hopkins, I think, a little bit more than they bargained for most of that game. And that's the great thing about sports is, yes, yeah, we're all competitive. Yes, you want to win. That's why we keep score. That's why we play. But, man, if you can look yourself in the mirror and know you gave it all that you had, you live with no regrets. Yes, you can get better. Yes, you can work on some of your weaknesses. But, man, you can never work on effort. So if you can play with that and really transfer that to all areas of your life, you're going to be successful.
Second one missed. Williams, the rebound. We wind down to a minute 10 to play, and into the hands of Keaton Heide.
Yeah, Wayzata going to be content here to try to take some time off the clock.
Paulson misses the layup.
You really no need to score there. You want to just force St. Louis Park to foul you. That's your strength is free throws. You can take very little time off the clock, and you'll.
Emerson, great dish for Doherty. And a timeout, St. Louis Park.
Yeah, beautiful pass. Again, nice job by Emerson. Splits the double team. Beautiful no-look pass. And Aiden Doherty with a big-time finish. Look at that split there. Nice job getting those hands ready. And we got a 4-point game.
Did you ever have a giant head like that of you when you played at Eden Prairie? That probably wasn't a thing.
It wasn't. I always thought how cool to have your face thrown around in the stands like that. You know, I was fortunate. I played Division I college basketball, got to play professionally. Nothing compares to the atmosphere and the feeling you get when you play in big high school games, John. You look in the stands, you see your classmates, you see some of your teachers and families and kids that you grew up with, and it just means so much. And that's what makes these games so much fun to be a part of and to watch.
Wayzata inbound. Their lead down to 3. 47 seconds to go as Park has rallied nicely here. They break the pressure. Paulson to Williams, to Benega, and into the hands of Gallinson. Paulson will drive. Benega open 3, hit. Brian Schnettler put his hands on his head like, what are you doing? And then he makes
he
it.
still looks frustrated, like, why the heck did you shoot that?
Emerson drives, gets it blocked by Williams. Into the front court to Williams with 20 seconds to go. To Paulson, to Gallinson. And that should just about do it with a made free throw here.
Coach Schnettler looking at John Bryant, one of his assistants, like, what in the heck was that? I mean, it wasn't like that was just a wide open look. That was a contested baseline 3.
Benega is oversharing.
They're hugging.
With
He's
his
like,
coach now.
He's telling Coach Schnettler, telling him, I hate you, but I'm glad you made that shot. We'll be talking about that later. But I'll tell you, you love that supreme confidence, right? You haven't had a good night shooting. It's probably not the smartest shot in the world, but by gosh, I'm going to knock it down and make it.
And now a 3-possession game, even with the miss on the second free throw. Down to 15 seconds to go. Houts tested 3, not good. Down to the corner, and the Wayzata Trojans are back in the Section 6 final. They eliminate St. Louis Park again here in the semifinals. Great game, 66-59. They'll play Hopkins Wednesday.
Well, that's setting up, we've seen that matchup the last couple of years in this building. And we were fortunate we saw Hopkins really take it to Wayzata a couple weeks ago on Wayzata's home floor. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of chess match do we have with Coach Schnettler, and obviously one of the best to ever coach in Minnesota, and Coach Kenny Novak. But I'm expecting a pretty good battle. And I'll tell you, when it's a one-game season, anything goes, John, and I'm sure we'll see great effort on both sides.
We saw some good basketball tonight. Hopkins, a top seed, has not lost since game 1 of the season, wins, but they really had to battle against Armstrong. Last game for head coach Greg Miller at Armstrong.
Yeah.
A great coaching career for him, and his kids went out tough. St. Louis Park, good senior group, unable to come back and complete the rally here in the second half against Wayzata, who played well down the stretch, made some big free throws, and they can celebrate this win.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, we talked about Coach Miller and what a class act he is, and hopefully he doesn't want to take my job too much of the time here and do color. But I'll tell you, I think Hopkins is better off having a competitive game like that. Maybe get some of that rust off, having that bye, getting challenged a little bit. And they know what they're in store for, playing a very good Wayzata team and a very smart Wayzata team. And I expect Wednesday night to be a really good battle with a trip to the state tournament on the line.
We've got basketball coming up on on Tuesday night on CCX. 2 semifinals in Section 5 4A. Champlin Park and Osseo. And then top seed Park Center against Spring Lake Park, and watch for those in the coming weeks. Let's go to the floor now. Allie standing by with a couple of winning Wayzata Trojans.
Yeah, guys, these guys earned this interview. We got Cody Williams. Cody, this was a tight game through the first. You guys were ahead by a couple, and you really had to earn it all the way through. How'd you get the W?
Just trusting my teammates. We're all a team. I got to do what I got to do, but the team effort, we put a team. Jacob hit a big shot, put us up, so just how it's good.
2 months ago, this game was played, same game, 83-80 in double overtime. How was this game so different?
I think we had a lot, something to prove, because last game went into overtime and we felt like we didn't play our best, so we just had to come out and show the crowd what we were made of.
Talk about your team's defensive effort, keeping number 11, their biggest point scorer, on the bench a lot of that game.
We just had to contain him. Our whole game plan was to force him left because he's not that great with the left, but our teammates shut him down and he fought out and we got the big W.
Congrats on a great win, and we'll be seeing a lot more of you, just ninth grader, so we look forward to that. Congrats on your first interview. We got Keaton Heidi here too. Keaton, 2 of your biggest point scorers on this team in Benega and Gallinson, they had a cold night tonight. You stepped up. Talk about that role in filling in where they didn't get the points.
It was just more of trusting my teammates and
even though they didn't have a big night, they still trusted me with the ball to hit some shots, get some layups, and it really helped out the team. So.
This is a very different team from last year, but you're headed to back-to-back section championships. Talk about the heart of this team and how it's different from last.
We're a lot smaller than last year, so it's just like, it's more of like playing with like a tenacity on defense and like always being up to speed, like knowing getting in our gaps and getting midline and all that stuff.
Winner takes Hopkins. That's never an exciting sentence to hear, but you guys beat them in the section championship last year. It's something you know you can do. What are your thoughts on the matchup?
It's going to be a good game. That's all I can say. I mean, we played them first time of the year we played them. We only lost by 4-6 at their place, and then we ended up losing big time at our place. And I think it's going to be a matter of who wants it more at the end of the day. So
it'll be a great matchup regardless. Congrats on the win tonight.
Thank you.
Guys.
All right, thanks very much, Allie. Wayzata celebrates the win. They move on with a 66-59 win. That will do it for our telecast tonight. For all of our crew, hope you've enjoyed this doubleheader action tonight in the Section 6 4A Finals. Hopkins and Wayzata advance. They'll play Wednesday here for the section championship, the winner going on to the state tournament. For Allie Arl, Ryan Iverson, and all of our crew, I'm John Jacobson. Thanks so much for tuning in. Final score here in Game 2. Wayzata winning back to the section final, 66-59 over Park.